What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Driving the Line, your favorite and best sports betting show in all of the land. And I promise you, it's not close. It's Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We have a completely fun-packed show, but we're also going to take a little bit of the educate and entertain. And we have something special there in that segment. We're going to talk about our best announcing crew that we love the most. But you know what we love? Is hitting our picks. We're going to look back at yesterday and listen. Except for Soupy, who obviously went 0-3, and yes, that's not what we love. Look at all the check marks. I believe it was 9-5. I counted. I used my toes twice, but I believe we went 9-5 overall. But 2 sweeps out of Seabass, but also Charles. A beautiful day. But you know what else is beautiful? The big fat smile on our guy AB. You know he's the 5-tool player. And yes, before the show, we saw him brushing his teeth. Good morning.
Good morning there, Daniel Greer. And you're right, I was brushing my teeth because brushing your teeth is healthy. Kids, everybody watching there, do that before school, whatever you got to do. Good morning, crew. And look, I don't know how many days it is, but somebody's going to put it in the chat. Look, we're almost there. And yes, look at that. Hey, good hand grip size on the ball, ready to go. Me and Tom Brady, we're cutting a little air out of these things.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe in deflating it a little bit to give yourself a little advantage? Because I know that was the kind of conversation. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because look, I'll tell you, I'll show you. And I know that like everybody can't feel it, right? But like these balls come, like when they come out of the bag, all right, especially the K balls, the kicker, they are unbelievably hard, right? Like, I mean, just like a rock, right? So some like to cut a little bit of the air down because it's easier to catch. Guys like Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre loved it, put more air in it, throwing missiles out there. But receivers and tight ends hated it because the one time when you don't catch it, right? Get your hands up there and catch it. The one time you don't, you use your body to catch it. That's coming about 7,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, never a big fan, especially in the cold and you're catching like that rock. It's just, it's tough to do. But listen, the chat loves your Christian Walker yesterday, the walk, but also 2 bombs out of Christian Walker. And then you nailed the hot dog winner. Like, you're feeling good.
Hey, don't ever bet it against an Italian in food. Don't ever do it, man. Don't ever do it. And look, Erica says, can I get 2 no runs first innings, please? Erica, got you. Already coming up.
All right, let's get to the cruise play today and giving out some more goodies. What we got today?
All right, 4 overs today. All right, Blue Jays Mariners over 7. And thank God the Orioles Mariners series is done. Do not have to bet that one anymore because that was been kicking my rear. Phillies Braves over 7.5. Astros Twins over 8. And the Brewers Dodgers over 8. Polls in the chat. Vote now. And as we always do, we'll update at the end of the show.
Yeah, love those, especially the overs on a Friday. It just feels good. But the other thing that feels good is seeing our other beautiful faces. So let's go ahead and get into our guys and get into the picks. Oh, there he is. All right, right underneath of me, the guy that went 0-3. We're going to let you lead off because we'll give our 15 seconds to Charles. But Soupy, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I tried to ride Corbin Burns yesterday, and he did really well up until the 5th inning. Then he gives off that bomb to Julio Rodriguez, and it just all went to HEL double hockey stick.
Soupy, let me say, look, the 2 days before, all right, I know I sounded dumb on the show, but I was saying the Mariners were 1 to 2 hits away from exploding, and it finally happened. So you're like, sometimes, and this is important, sometimes good bets don't hit. Those were good bets. I would take those bets 10 out of 10 times. It was just leading up to that because they were literally 1 hit away from doing it. And unfortunately, yeah, I mean, I lost my Orioles bet too, right? So unfortunately, man, it was just that day, you know?
Yep. And of course, Frankie Montas looked like a Cy Young winner against the Yankees because the Yankees are absolutely garbage.
Well, speaking of the Yankees, real quick, Big Brett wants to say, your play yesterday on Aaron Judge, it's voided. Like, you don't play that because you called him Aaron Rodgers. It's just an understood thing. Like, whenever we mess up on names, it's a guaranteed fade.
I was literally doing a Jets preview like right before I came on the show, and I guess it was still in my mind.
All right. Well, our 15 seconds goes to the beautiful Charles. Go with the sweep. Good morning.
Morning, DG, crew, chat. Yeah, nice little day yesterday. We got some miracles and we got the home run props. So nice little day. Weekend start, Euros back, Copa, MLS. MLS was nice last night as well. So El Trafico did as well. So, hey, on to the weekend.
I love your MLS stuff because, and honestly, you don't put it out on socials as much, which I understand completely. But when I see it come through my socials, or I can somehow steal a pick from you here and there, I always make sure I go with your MLS plays. But let's go ahead and get into our plays. Listen, we have a loaded board as always. Yesterday was loaded. Today's going to be loaded again. And Charles, sticking with soccer, let's go ahead and go back to you here.
The quarterfinals and the Euros kick off today with what many would expect to be a championship match. Spain has left little doubt regarding their status in the tournament, winning all 4 of their games so far by a goal differential of 9-1. Germany, they've also been impressive. Although they have had their scares along the way, needing late goals and the benefit of VAR, still the Germans are also undefeated while scoring 10 goals through the first 4 matches. These teams are familiar with one another, with Germany failing to defeat Spain in 36 years. I expect both countries to play to win, which generally produces goals, and with neither side being held scoreless so far, I'm going right back to the both teams to score and over 9.5 corners. These are 2 of my top corner sides, and based on their styles of play, we should see plenty of corners on both ends again today. Spain versus Germany, it goes off at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, listen to the man, just for a simple fact that it's all about the style of play, especially for the corners. I know you talk about, the corners play a lot, but it's all about the style of play. Like, how does the defense force, the runners or the offense out? And so I love that look. All right, so everybody knows, especially our guy, Big Cheesy. You're talking about day 2 coach picks. They somehow are always good for the round 2. And Coach sent us in these picks. I think he sent in a video. Let's see what we got.
What's good, DTL crew? It is the coach, your boy, and what an incredible Thursday we had. First of all, our picks, we pushed one and we won one, so we were 1-0-1. But I had the privilege and the honor of calling the 14th sub-60 round in the history of the PGA Tour. Congratulations to Hayden Springer, 12 under 59. You never know. Before last week, he had missed 7 of the last 8 cuts. 7 of 8. And then he shot a 59 yesterday. So today, I got 2 big plays that I absolutely love. Found them at DraftKings, and they're both afternoon. I made sure of that. JT Poston, we're going right back to the well again. Plus 114 over Sun JM. Same number as yesterday when we pushed. Poston, he won this event in 2021. He loves this course. He plays great here. I think today he shoots at least a 66 or a 65, which should be enough. Then this is more of a gut feel for me. Jordan Spieth, minus 125 over Keith Mitchell. Mitchell just hasn't been playing good golf. Spieth's a 2-time champion here. He's motivated. He's the biggest name here, and he's going to have to shoot well under par because the scores have been so good. I believe the cut's going to come in at 4 or 5, maybe even 6 under par. Who knows? But you got to go low today. I think Spieth will get the job done. Those are our 2 big plays. Take care of the universe. Have a great weekend, and let's keep the grind going. Because at DTL, we never stop. Check me out. ESPN Plus, PGA Tour Live, DG. Back to you.
Thanks, Coach. Listen, one, after we get off the show, go check out Coach. But 2, I don't know if y'all saw that shirt. It was very yellowy. And AB, I want to ask you a question. Anything yellowy that you saw yesterday at the 4th of July?
Anything yellowy? All right.
Maybe like lemonade-y?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Look, Eric Badlands, I can't remember his last name, dude that nailed the lemonade chugging contest. All right. I mean, this guy was an electric factory, bro. And look, I'll tell you this right now. If there's a sweet tea chugging contest, the world better watch out. I will legitimately destroy, I think, everyone.
Speaking of that, would you go unsweet tea because all that sugar, or do you maybe like cut the sugar in half, or are you just going like Milo straight sweet tea?
Oh man, I'm going all the sugar because I want the sweet tea. However, you're gonna pay for it afterward, right? Like, and that couple, the hot dog eating couple, oof, that had to be a tough house last night and today.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to the what else is going to be tough today. I'm going to give you my first play because we're going to lead us off with baseball here, and it's Sonny Gray for over 5.5 Ks. I first saw this number last night coming over 4.5, but now it's kind of moved up to plus 5 or over 5.5 at plus money still. The reason I like this is because Sonny Gray has had 6+ Ks in 12 of his 16 games in the season. And I know they're going against a Washington team that doesn't strike out a ton, but if you look at their numbers, they are striking out, at a decent rate. It's just not one of the best within Major League Baseball. But I still think that Sonny Gray being able to get 6 Ks, the guy has been very, very good this year. And he's also a guy that I like for this game. And it's actually decent money for a no-run first inning. And so I'm going to look at the sheets for better days ahead a little bit later. But that's something I want to look at. But Soupy, if you go ahead and lead us off with your picks next.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that same game with you, Nats and Cardinals. Of course, it's Patrick Corbin Day. We need that for a bounce back. Patrick Corbin has allowed the most hits and run this year, and he's allowed the most runs in 2 of the last 3 seasons. Oh, and guess what? He's one of the 6th highest paid pitchers in the league. It is absolutely awful. And the Cardinals are hitting 257, 457 slugging, and a 10% walk rate against Corbin, so they should have a decent day. And Gray, while yes, he could probably hit this strikeout prop, he necessarily isn't the best on the road. 4.54 ERA on the road this year, so I think he's going to give up a few runs along with, of course, Patrick Corbin pitching just anytime. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. And then I'm going with a parlay for Yankees Red Sox. Rafael Devers has been on fire lately. He has a hit in 14 of his last 19 games. He had a hit in all 3 games against the Yankees, and the Yankees pitching has been horrible. The Yankees are horrible right now. 4-3, 4-13 in the last 19 games, and they have a 7.18 ERA against opponents in that span. So let the Red Sox score at least 4 runs. They're probably going to score 8 or 9, and it's just going to be another awful day in the Bronx.
Devers has been on fire, and I have a play on Rafael Devers in the Crew exclusive, so I love that look. AB's over here cheesing. What you got going on, AB?
Sorry, 2 things. Number 1, all right, since everyone messes with Soupy about like pronunciations and stuff, I was gonna interrupt and say it's Rafael Devers, like just something just out of control or something.
Oh, come on! All right.
No, like I hate that everybody gets on you, bro. I mispronounce words and names all the time. Like I totally feel you. And then number two, like you probably, and I don't know this. And just kind of going off feel, but like I feel like the Yankees score all of their runs like after the 7th inning. Like I swear to God, I feel like the last 2 weeks they've had 0 runs, and whether they win or lose, it's like 0 runs. They'll get 4 or 5 in like the last 2.5 innings of every game. It's crazy, man.
It really was, especially during the whole Red Series. That's what it was. They would be down 3-0, 4-0, and then they would climb back. But they just couldn't do enough. You can't score that late and expect to try to win the game. You got to do it early, and that's what they haven't been able to do.
I'm gonna be looking to see if it continues, man, and live bet those totals, man, just to see if that keeps up. But yeah, sorry, man. The last day was making me laugh because I'm all of them.
Charles, I do want to ask you that question because I know you are a kind of a king at the live betting, especially baseball. On that Yankee stuff, is that something that we might be able to watch? Is that a trend that you have seen that maybe they're scoring a little bit later? You can pick up a team total or maybe the total over in their games?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They've been coming late. So, yeah, wait a couple innings. See. Another thing is the little strategy I've been using, just wait and see if we can get through that first inning. So if it's at an 8, see if we can get it at 7 or 6.5, just shave a run or run and a half off as well. Usually they'll dump a run and a half. We get past that first inning. So that comes up big. These games, they land so many times. If it's on the 9, it'll land on the 8. So at worst you're pushing. So that's a little one I use as well. So. But absolutely, those Yankees runs have been coming later. So yeah, if they're going off at 4.5, you can pick up a 2.5 easy or something like that as well.
Hey, and last question on that, I want to ask about the innings. Like, so if you are live betting, especially baseball, on the innings, is there an inning that you're looking for or a trend? Like, so after maybe a big inning, you're looking to maybe play the under on the over, or maybe they go stale for 2 innings and you can get past, maybe the top 6 or 7 in the order. The top's coming back around the third. So at that point, would that be an inning that you look at, or is there any method to the madness or just a feel?
Well, I mean, I already know my number in my head that I already have a good feeling if it's going to go over or under. So if I can, kind of manipulate that line as well and just get better numbers, that's really what I'm trying to do. Like I said, shave a couple of runs off as well. And if I know if I think it's going to be an under, they score a bunch of runs, then we'll grab that under as well, and then vice versa. But yeah, I already know my number in my head. So if I can take a couple of runs off or a run and a half, that's really my goal.
Listen to Charles, but listen to all of our guys. I'm telling you, there's a little bit of tips and tricks that you can get over the course of just watching the show. Very important. All right, everybody loves AB. We're going back to the over here. So AB, what you got here?
Brand new series starting tonight. Orioles and Athletics live from the Oakland Coliseum in beautiful Alameda County. All right, so we're going to take the Orioles A's over 8. And we're also going to take the Orioles A's, both teams to score 3+ runs at +105. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, come on, man. The Orioles not like they've looked great in that Mariners series. Look, that Mariners series kicked my tail, all right, because the Mariners are really tough to bet when they're involved. They don't hit well at all, but they are a great pitching team. Not to mention, it was a holiday week, and the Orioles traveled all the way across the country. It was just a perfect setup for a really tough series in betting, but it turns around. And let me show you why. First off, on the weather here, what you can expect, the ball is flying out tonight in Oakland. Now, it's nothing huge that we saw of 70% humidity or 50-mile-an-hour gust winds, but it's good. It's blowing out, and it's open, and you're going to see both teams dropping bombs tonight and all weekend. 71 degrees, 11 miles an hour blowing from the west, 57% humidity, and that humidity is going to go up 5% every hour in this game tonight. Watch for left-handed hitters that can pull or right-handed hitters that can go oppo, and the Orioles lineup is all left-handed hitters. It is going to be great. Now, let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Here's why I like it. Albert Suarez against Hogan Harris here. All right, Hulk Hogan Harris, 1-2 on the year. Not a bad ERA, but he gives up hits. Will give up some home runs there. All right, doesn't strike out a ton. Will give up a couple walks, not too bad. But look at the bottom here. All right, both pitchers, Suarez and Harris, they are fly ball machines. And these fly balls, not only you're going to see them go over the fence for home runs, but you're going to see a lot of line drives. You're going to see a lot of contact for these two pitchers. All right. Albert Suarez got some good numbers there, but still both of these guys, Albert Suarez has done some, a little bit of, not fully game started work earlier in the year. You just have a really nice matchup at the end of the pitching rotations here to get runs. Look for the walks and then look for the bombs. This thing is going to go out and off the rails right about the third inning, about the second, go around in the lineup for both teams. Going to start dropping bombs. So yeah, we're going to take the over 8. We're going to take both teams to score 3+ runs.
Yeah, speaking about the kind of the very beginning of the game, you're looking at this from Better Days Ahead. Sorry, Soupy there, but the first inning stats for these teams, Baltimore has a 24% no run on the road, and then Oakland at home, 84.09%. And that's why you follow Mark from Better Days Ahead. But that's why this game has been my favorite game to go on the under a half of a run on the first inning. And so I expect a no-run first inning from this game, and especially the late game. That was going to be my play, but couldn't get it in fast enough this morning. But that is probably one of my more favorite plays from the weekend, and might be something I'm cooking up. Maybe the ladder challenge for the weekend for the DTL community. I think that we can definitely go there. All right, so I have one play left, and that's in the WNBA. So let me go back to that real fast. It's going to be Angel Reese for over 12.5 rebounds. The number's -128. I don't love the juice, but she's had 13+ rebounds in 6 of the last 7 games. And then she had 12 against Seattle the last game, which was 528. So right before, if you see her numbers, right before they started just kind of ticking up and the injuries started happening, she grabbed 12 rebounds. And then tonight, I expect her, as she's been playing well, because she likes to shoot the ball and hit the backboard. She goes to the other side, she grabs the rebound, and then she throws it off and it hits the rim, and she grabs it again and then eventually shoots it, and then sometimes makes it, sometimes misses it. But either way, I call that a 2 or 3 rebound kind of possession. And so that's what Angel Reese is liking to do. So we're going to go with over 12.5 rebounds. So I like the look for sure. Soupy, do you like my WNBA play?
I do like your WNBA play. I really, really, really do. I'm being nice today. Yes, because it is 4th of July weekend.
Yes, it's still
quick question. Quick question. All right. Holiday, when they come on a Thursday, all right, and you had your choice, all right, at work, you could either have Friday off, right? So essentially your week ends on Wednesday, 4th on Thursday, enjoy it. You have Friday off. Or would you go into work on Friday, suck it up, and take the Monday off? I'm going with the Monday. What about you?
Soupy.
Depends on how much I drank the night before.
You know, that isn't the question, because you have to take it prior to Thursday, the holiday. So
I'm sick.
Charles,
I had hot dogs with ketchup, so I got sick.
Charles.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Friday, then I'll take vacation on Monday. So
there you go.
See, but after that long, like, so I'm always taking the Friday because I'm worthless. Like after a holiday, looking at a weekend, it's like the sandwich. You're like, hey, I love what's in the middle, and that's going to be that Friday. And so I'm always taking Friday out. There's never a time where I won't take the Friday and over a Monday. But yeah, Monday gets there, you're dreading it as it is, but you're going to dread Tuesday. And so I don't like to prolong it anymore, because at that point, I'm just hating myself, and probably work needs to get done, but you know how it is. All right, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and look at some of the topics we discussed, and it's going to be our 2-man booth in the Educate and Entertain. All right, today we dropped off Charles again because he said he was hungry this morning going into the green room. But we're talking about the best announcing crew. And that's what, we can go active, inactive, form whatever your favorite is. And the reason we're doing that is because on DTL Golf, we have Coach and RD, and they're on the call this morning. We had this picture come through, and boys, I don't know what's going on with Coach, but why is he wearing these suspenders? Anybody have an idea?
John Deere green, baby.
This is
on a hot summer night.
Soupy, would you wear those if it wasn't a bet? Because I'm understanding that he might have lost a bet, but would you ever wear those things?
Yes, they are awesome. They are awesome. I would totally wear those, but I'm me, so
yeah, no.
I like anything weird.
Yeah,
come on, I'm wearing a hat with a biscuit on it.
Listen, the Montgomery biscuits. Yep.
Exactly. Hey, you both got it. Thank you.
Well, one, it was in the chat. Number two, I always wanted my player on MLB The Show. When you create a guy, I always wanted him to play for the Biscuits.
All right, let's go to our announcing crew. Sippy, I'm going to let you lead us off on this one. Who's the best announcing crew that you just love to listen to, or anybody, with 2-man team, 3-man team, whatever? What are you thinking about?
For me, I have to talk about it because, this one actually just ended. John Sterling and Susie Waldman. Growing up as a Yankee fan, you always got to listen to it as a little kid, and then as I got older, listened to it as an adult. It was a very, very legendary crew, and John Sterling, of course, had those infamous home run calls that every Yankee fan knows about, giving a name to every single player. So, John Sterling and Susie Waldman for me.
Yeah, and in the chat, let us know who your favorites are, and these can be local too. But also national teams. AB, who's your favorite?
Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan.
Ooh.
But, all right, go. All right. I mean, no joke. Those dudes were they were awesome. But John Madden, Pat Summerall. I think for me, even though I was young, you know what I mean? I've you've gone back and watched lists. They were the GOATs. They seemed like they had it down, man. So yeah. Summerall Madden. That's what I'm going with.
They were good. As Aaron Bailey says, loved Madden and Summerall. They were good because Madden's voice sold everything. Like anything that Madden did, especially the video game. Like I love playing it just because you got to hear him more, and I think that goes to credit him. There's a lot, but Brock says Dickie V and anyone else. Dick Vitale, who's obviously going through having cancer treatments right now, but prayers up to him. But Dick Vitale was great back in the day. And as he got older, it kind of got where he was using his punchlines more and more. But it is what it is. I will say that Robbie Hockey has this one, that JR and Jerry Lawler were amazing in wrestling. I'll give out a local one was Pete Pranica and Brevin Knight for the Grizzlies. And the reason is it's not because they are our local ones. I think they're phenomenal. And I hear so many NBA calls. And they are just so bad, or they're homers. I don't know. Soupy, do you like listening to a very biased or homer, even if it's your team? Do you like a homer, like announcing crew?
Yeah, because I want my announcers to be excited about my team. Why not?
There's a difference in being excited about your team. I'm talking about, like, do you think that they're fair? Do they promote the other team? Because if they're just crapping on them the whole time, that doesn't make it fun.
I think, maybe if they're always just kind of putting down the team, I think it's a little excessive. But you can take ribs at the other team here and there. But I think if they're constantly doing, it's a little overkill.
Yeah.
You know who's really good? Like, first off, I got to give Maddie a shout out in the chat for saying the WWE, the Spanish announce table. Like, and Vince Scully, obviously, because he did it on his own, which is just, a stud performance. But college football on ESPN, all right, when it was Brent Musburger and Jesse Palmer. It's not going to get the credit, and I'm not saying that it's up there with Madden level, but they were great together because Palmer knew to say a couple words and then just let Musburgers just start telling stories, and it was great. They would go off the rails, and it was awesome every time, man. They were a lot of fun.
Who's your NFL crew? I know they're changing, and one of them can't be Tom Brady. So is there an NFL crew that you like? Because I feel like I don't know if there's any that I love. And that's where I'm kind of stuck at.
And that's, I can't think of one off the top of my head. And I do love Greg Olson. I think he's actually an incredible broadcaster. I personally, I understand why Fox is doing it. You're giving Tom Brady all that money. You got to give him the A show. But Greg Olson, man, he is an incredible broadcaster. He does very well.
Yeah, I think he has been very good, and obviously kind of got treated a little bad. I love Tony Romo as well.
Dude, Al Michaels and Thursday nights. That was my favorite crew right there. He wanted the hell out of there at halftime. Kirk was left on his own.
Kirk hurts you. If we were giving one of the worst, I think Kirk could be one of the worst NFL. And he's very good at college, but man, he just wanted to talk about only college guys and only about their college stats and anything that they did college-wise. It was terrible.
Dude, you're right, because all he wanted to do was talk about that, and Michaels was like, "All right, I'll see you guys, man.
Let's get out." All right, so we have a big rivalry as well this weekend. It is the Yankees and it is the Red Sox, and so Soupy, we know that you want to hit on a little bit, and so we're gonna lead it off with you first here. But the best active rivalry, it can be the Red Sox and Yankees for you, but is there an active rivalry that you're looking at right now? Because we've had some of the great in the past, but what is the active rivalry that you love the most right now?
You already mentioned her, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It really is everybody wants to perceive this as a huge rivalry. And I'm hoping that Clark and Reese, especially Reese, is already playing into it. I hope Clark plays into it a little bit more because these are two great players. And again, both teams are not very good right now, but hopefully these teams elevate to where we see these two in the playoffs playing against each other, like a magic bird, which elevated the NBA in the 80s. I'm hoping Clark and Reese do the same thing now and in the future for the WNBA.
Yeah, they have been very good, and especially great for television, especially great for the numbers overall, and the WNBA has been very good. And Seabass in the chat, if you got any questions for him, go ahead and ask him right now if you have whatever it might be, because he's one of the guys that did sweep yesterday. But AB, who is your active rivalry right now that you love?
It's a great question because, like, if you look actively right now, I don't know if we exactly have one, right? Of like what we have seen in the last 10 to 20 years. Like, yeah, like my man Brian says the chat, like Ohio State, Michigan, obviously it's always going to be there. Auburn, Alabama, always going to be there. I'll tell you this, keep an eye on Texas sports now that they're going to the SEC because they're going with Oklahoma, but Texas A&M, that rivalry is going to heat the hell up because Texas A&M went to the SEC to get away from Texas and not like running like away afraid. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just smart. Like go gotta pave your own route. You're always gonna be little brother, right? Now Texas has showed up again. I'm fascinated to see that one. Like NFL, like what's the best NFL rivalry? Like Chiefs, Ravens,
Bills?
maybe like coming up. Bills, like yeah, it depends on how good the Bills are gonna be, right? Like it's. I don't know. Like, I don't know if we have a great one, and it could be, somebody has one in the chat, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many that you can kind of lean on that are okay, and that's to your point, AB. Like they've been very okay, and they haven't been really just major rivalries. It's been more players than teams, because people can kind of go back and forth. Two teams that I love watching play every year, and it's always twice a year, and it's going to be the Duke versus North Carolina. Somehow, some way, no matter how bad those teams are or maybe how good they are, it doesn't matter. Somehow it's going to come late into the game, and it's going to be I guess a 2-possession game at some point. And I just think those two teams have always played well, and they've always been good atmospheres. And you kind of got to look at the atmosphere a little bit, because if the atmosphere gives a little bit to the rivalry, I think that helps. And there's been so many here in Memphis locally, especially with the Grizzlies until this last season, that the atmosphere is really what sells it for me. Subi, what about if you're looking at the rivalry, how much to the play does it need to have the teams meet into the playoffs?
I think that's a big factor because it has to mean something. That's why I'm thinking like Auburn, Alabama isn't really much of a rivalry at the moment because Auburn just hasn't been in that position to where, they beat Alabama. They're in the playoffs, unlike, a few years ago with the miracle return kick, that sent Alabama out of the playoffs. And that was, I think that was the year that Auburn won it. And I was thinking the same thing. Michigan, Ohio State has been, that game means everything. Obviously, because both teams are, have a playoff stake. It doesn't mean anything anymore because now we have a 12-team playoff. So it doesn't matter who wins or loses in that game. They're probably both making the playoff. Unlike the last couple of years where Michigan has been absolutely destroying Ohio State. But even the year before, Ohio State still made the playoffs. But, I digress.
Yeah. A lot of people are in the chat are saying in the NFL one, the Cowboys versus the Eagles. And so that's kind of one we're looking at as well. I think that's good. Go ahead.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you. All right. So our man Kirk in the chat brought up the old Southwest Conference. All right. So I wanted to highlight on that. Those rivalries were so deep that you had a dude at SMU that was like, I will start buying wins against these teams. You had Texas, SMU, Arkansas. Like, dude, that was my favorite 30 for 30 of all time was the Pony Excess. So, dude, the old Southwest Conference, dude, badass. Kurt, great call on that one. Absolutely. And DG, I remember the rivalry of Tennessee and Memphis in basketball when it was Calipari versus Bruce Pearl. Dude, those were fun games, dude. Those were really, really fun games.
And that's what I love the most is it's about what the fans buy into it, because if the fans buy into it, it makes it a bigger deal. And Memphis and UT playing in any sport has always been a big deal, but it's probably the same exact thing with anyone else wherever you are. It might be a local rivalry, but it means a lot to you, and that's really how it always has been for me. It's all about the fans, because the team and the game, you can kind of will it to be a close game as long as one's not completely better than the other. I do think that it's always a close game, and rivalries are the best in sports. All right. Well, that's enough from us. Charles has eaten enough in the green room, and I know he wants to talk about home run props. So let's go ahead and hit the whip around. All right, we got Arenado on the graphic. Charles is definitely going to go and give us some honorable mentions, I hope. But Charles, lead us off here with who you're going for the home run Friday.
It's got to be Arenado plus 325. He loves Corbin. I think he has 3 home runs off of him as well. So Nolan Arenado plus 325. And then honorable mention, let's go Spencer Steer. His bat's been hot and coming back to the Great American Small Park. So Spencer Steer, honorable mention.
Who are the Reds playing this weekend?
It was the Tigers.
Okay. I think that's Reese Olson on the bump today for the Tigers.
He has a home run off of him.
Oh, he does. Yep. Nice. Soupy, who you got here?
I'm going to tail Charles just because it's Patrick Corbin Day. Let's go with Nolan Arenado.
Tailing Charles is probably smart, especially the honorable mentions. AB, who we going here?
Aaron Judge. Red Sox. It's time. This is where Aaron Judge hits a ball about 525 feet. Yeah, I'll rise on this one, man.
I got a feeling about my guy Yordan Alvarez. Just for the simple fact is, I actually played him to hit a home run yesterday, and I think he went 0 for on the day, I believe. And so because of that, I just think he's going to somehow hit one today, and then just I would feel terrible. So I'm going to go back to the well here.
What about? Sorry, not to interrupt you. Like, what about the Astros, dude? They've won 12 of the last 14 games. Like, they are on fire, dude. Fire, man.
Well, Altuve at the top of the lineup has been hitting very well, and I think he's a big key. Anytime you get your leadoff man on, it always helps you kind of get the ball rolling, and especially start you out early.
And the crazy thing, the crazy thing too, is like it's not like they've been just shutting teams out. Like the other teams have been scoring too. Like these have been over machine games.
Yep.
Like they are scoring 6, 7, 8, 9 runs, like just consistently, man. Like it was a great point with the lineup.
Yeah.
Like I mean, the Astros are they're feeling it right now, dude.
Yeah, we might have to look at them for a team total on the over today. But the other plays that we have, if you weren't here at the very beginning of the show, we always come back and give you our plays in 10 seconds or less. If you'll go through them, and Charles, lead us off.
Euros, Spain, Germany. We're going to go with the both teams to score. I cannot see a clean sheet. At worst, we see 1-1 in this one in extra time. And Spain, Germany over 9.5 corners.
All right, Coach is coming through with his round 2 plays, and that's JT Poston at plus 114. This is round 2 only over Sunjay M. And then Jordan Spieth, round 2, minus 125 over Keith Mitchell. I'm going to go next, and that's Sonny Gray over 5.5 Ks at plus 136. He's going against a Washington team that doesn't strike out a ton. I just think Sonny Gray is Mr. Consistent, gets with 6 Ks here. And then speaking of consistency, Angel Reese, her rivalry against the rim has been noted for sure. Over 12.5 rebounds here at minus 128. Soupy, who you got?
I don't know if I mentioned this today, but it's Patrick Corbin Day, so that's good. But also Sonny Gray, 4.54 ERA on the road, so I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. And then Devers, he is hitting 14 of his last 19 games. And the Red Sox have been actually playing really well right now, and the Yankees cannot pitch for life at the moment. So Devers hit, Red Sox over 4 runs.
Stay tuned for the Crew exclusive. Comes out about 30 minutes after the show. I have a play on that. I think there's another play as well in the Crew exclusive that I saw. So make sure you tune in for that. And AB, go ahead and finish this out.
Yeah, and John was talking about the both teams to score minus 135, and I assume he's talking about Charles' play. I usually, like, even on soccer, I find DK, DraftKings, to have really good odds. But, Charles, I wanted to shoot it over to you real quick. Anywhere that you're seeing the better odds?
Yeah, I got this one yesterday, so it's kind of moved as well. I didn't check it this morning, so I sent this overnight. So, but I use Bet365 Bovada. Yeah, Bet365, Bovada, some of the other sites that I use as well, other than a lot of times the DraftKings and FanDuels, they don't give you the best odds, so I definitely would encourage shopping around.
And MGM has been very good for soccer. I don't know about this play in particular, but MGM has been very good for sure. All right,
sorry,
AB.
like, I wasn't putting you on the spot. I was just asking, like, if you knew a book that like had generally better odds. That's like I was saying DraftKings for baseball, but yeah, I feel bad now. All right, Orioles A's over 8 minus 115. Orioles A's both teams score 3+ runs plus 105.
All right, that's kind of like the lemonade gimmick yesterday. God, just making us throw up all over ourselves.
It's a gallon. All right, it's a gallon of lemonade, and I think it took it was 21 seconds that he finished an entire gallon of lemonade, right? And I mean, he just went for just like water from a fire hose approach. You know what I mean? Like just taking it.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. 21 seconds.
Yeah, 21 seconds is for sure fast. All right, Soupy. If you'll
Whoa,
give us
hold
a
on,
little...
hold on. All right,
Oh,
we have a bot in the chat that's offering to buy bots. All right, Capable Regret G. I am going to hit you up after this because I have some bot ideas. All right, hang tight. I'll find you. Yeah, I'm in on this. I'm buying bots today. Let's go.
Wow. All right, Soupy. Anywhere people can find you, but also anything you have maybe coming up over the weekend.
I am recording a Giants preview over the weekend. I'll let you guys know when that comes out. And then everything is on bettingpros.com and fantasypros.com.
Soupy, talking about fantasy sports. I know you're big on fantasy football. What are you cooking up for the season coming up?
I like to do with Fantasy Pros a burning questions of the week. So I'll even ask the DTL crew your burning questions you have for that week in fantasy football, and I will answer them for you.
All right,
Can I propose the first one that we answer next week? How's my boy Jalen Hyatt going to do this year? We feeling him?
Oh man, I really do. I liked when the Giants drafted him. Wasn't the best rookie year. I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough with neighbors coming in now. Maybe, I don't know, and then you still got I don't know. I really don't. He's a good deep threat guy, but he's a ton of speed, good deep threat guy. I'm hoping that if Daniel Jones has an arm that he can throw it to Hyatt and get some big chunk yardage. But I don't know if Daniel Jones remembers how to throw a football. He hasn't done it in like 2 years, it feels like.
I think it's DeVito time, baby.
Wow. All about the Italians. All about. Hey, real quick, Soupy, last thing. Ray Garcia wants to know, are you part of the Betting Pros podcast?
Possibly. I do some stuff with them occasionally. As football season comes around, I'll probably be doing a lot more with them.
Okay. Nice. All right, Charles, what are you looking for this weekend? Because obviously you're going to have stuff over the weekend, and we know that people can find you there and sub into your other plays because you're going to have a lot more over the weekend. So anything, any game or anything you're looking for at all over the weekend?
Yeah, we just have Euros, Copa America, MLS, MLB, so a whole plethora of opportunities to grow those bankrolls.
And where can people find you?
At ROI Capper 1, the number 1.
Always. All right, Soupy, Charles, you've been great. The show's been great. AB, let's hit that closing bell. All right, what is the crew chose for us today?
The Brew Crew and the Dodgers. They're going Brewers, Dodgers over 8. Feeling it there. And my man Jared in the chat knows it. I'm ready to run the rock right now. Let's go. Hey, tuck it, go, boy. Hey, you switch sides depending on which side of the field we're on.
Yeah, isn't that what he did for the Giants last year? Just hand off to Saquon, like, hey, here you go. And then now no Saquon. And I know they're on the Hard Knocks right now, and they're trying to figure out what to do.
Hey, all they need to do is just watch the program, all right? In class, everything. That ball has to be with you at all times, and people try to knock it out of you. And also, my man Scott in the chat wants to know about Paul Skenes' picks. Look, I like him in strikeouts today. I like him really for no runs first inning. I know that involves the Mets as well. But, yeah, Paul Skenes, man, going to be a big day for the big dog.
Yeah, the Pirates have been struggling themselves at no run first inning. And so if Skenes can hold down the Mets, that's a good look for sure. Listen, great show as always, a great week. Anything this weekend? I know you're going to have plays coming out over the weekend on the on-demand plays, but anything in general other than, baseball or anything else we're looking at, soccer stuff?
Nah, pretty standard, right? Yeah, we'll have shows on demand Saturday and Sunday. They'll be up by 10 a.m. Eastern, but generally I like to get them up as quick as I can. So just make sure to turn on notifications. I know that every YouTube show on the planet says that, but this show, it actually is important because I'll get it to you as soon as I can. If it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., the earlier the better, because you're going to get better lines, right? So clicking that bell on this show for real will save you money. So make sure to do that. Also, Paul Skenes, 4.5 hits over or under. I don't know what to do with that one, but yeah, it's like, seriously, turn on notifications. Like it will make you money.
Yeah, definitely do that. But also hit the like button as you leave here, but also as you come in. As I say, like kind of wipe your feet as you leave and come and go, like at somebody's house. Same way with the show. If you'll like it when you come in, hit the like button, or when you leave, hit the like button, whichever. But don't hit it twice. If you hit it twice, that's backwards. But if you'll go ahead, it might be broken today. Go ahead and make sure you hit it just one time and see if it works. But great show, AB. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's been a good time. It's been a great week. And obviously it has been a somewhat challenging week for me, but I will say that I guess on a personal level, I want to say thank you. Listen, I usually don't get too much of my feelings or my emotions, but my pup passed, I believe it was Wednesday. And so I had a tough time, but listen, Wednesday night, Thursday, throughout all the way till today, people have been picking me up personally. And so, listen, I know it's an animal, but we love those stupid pets like our family for sure. So I appreciate the DTL crew for really picking me up and sending me some kind words. It was awesome. But what an amazing show from everyone. The picks. Hopefully we go even better than 9-5. I'd love to go ahead and crush it again. But for producer man, always the best behind the scenes, Soupy, Charles, AB. I am Daniel Greer stepping in for Coach. It has been a great week. It's going to be an even better weekend. Be nice and tell your friends.